Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bar and Beverage Management. So once again, this PowerPoint presentation was prepared by Sir Chemuel Antonio Garcia. So our topic is about wine for week 13. So let's proceed to our discussion for week 13. So what is a wine? So familiar naman tayo siguro kung ano ang wine. And I'm pretty sure na each one of us has tasted wine. Kahit anong wine pa to, local or international. And of course, meron din tayong mga locally made wine here in the Philippines such as the Tapoy, Bugnay. So yan yung mga wine dito sa Pinas. So wine. Wine is made from naturally fermented juice of grapes. It is used as a complement to a meal to enhance the flavor of the dish to highlight a celebration, and it serves as a medicine, ministers the sick, and enables to heat up the body and temperature. So that is the definition of wine. So another one is we have the 4 classes of wine. So for 4 classes of wine, we have the first one, which is the still or natural wine. So the still or natural wines, fermentation is from the skin of grape. So take note of what itself and acts like yeast, mostly done by nature, nothing added one on them, and it is also called table wines. So that is a still or natural wines. So kaya 'di ba pansin nyo, ang kulay ng wine is usually uh, dark uh, red, or it might be red or very purplish, or also white. So it's because of the skin of the grapes. So another class of wine that we have, the second one is the aromatic wines. And it is made same way as the still wines, but during the fermentation, aromatics are added. So such as example, we have the vermouth made from oak worms. Another class of wine that we have is the fortified wines, and these wines with a higher content of alcohol, usually 7 to 19%, or 24% alcohol content. So we have 2 categories of fortified wines. We have the upper aperitif wine, and it is usually taken before dinner to stimulate digestion to an upcoming meal, and it is usually has a bitter taste. So examples of aperitif wine, we have the sherry, bonnet, Dubonnet, Campari, Vermouth, Martinis, and Manhattan. For dessert wine, it is usually taken after dinner to round off a meal. And usually it has a sweet taste. So example of this one, we have the port wines, Madeira, Marsal, Angelica, and Muscatel. Excuse me for that. So this is for our third class of wine, the 45 wines. So let's have a preview again. So our 4 classes of wine, we have the still or natural wines, we have the aromatic wines, and we have the fortified wines. Our last class of wine is the sparkling wines. So sparkling wines are commonly called champagne, and it is also named the king of all beverages. They are made of sparkling through a second fermentation inside the bottle. So example of this one is Don Perignon, Moet, and Chandon. In Germany, it is called Sekt. In Spain, Cava, and in Italy, Spumante. So these are the classes of wines. So on your handouts or PDF files, kindly look at your references or your handouts or PDF files. So we have here the characteristics of each wine. So let's first discuss red wine or rogue. So it has a deep crimson to purple to reddish orange color, And in the process of fermentation, stems, pulp, seeds, and skin of the grapes are also included. So the stem produce a preservative called tannin to form a reddish color. So doon pala nakukuha yung kulay nun. The room temperature storage of this wine is in 65 to 75 Fahrenheit or 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. And this wine is usually served to complement red meats such as beef, pork, lamb, turkey, ham, and pheasant. Length of year of wine is between 8 to 10 years. And the type of glass being used has a large, more rounded bowls to allow better swirling and sniffing purposes. So this is for our red wine. For white wine or blanc, it has a pale straw to bright yellow to gold color. In the process of fermentation, only the pulp of the grapes are included to form only a whitish color. The temperature storage for this one is 45 to 55 Fahrenheit and it is best served chilled. So this wine is served to complement white meats such as poultry, fish, veal, and shellfish. And length of year of wine is between 2 to 5 years. The type of glass being used has a narrower to help hold in more delicate flavors of wine. And another wine that we have is the rose wine or the pink or blush. So for our rose wine, it has a pale red to pink to salmon color. In the process of fermentation, stems, pulp, seeds, and of the grapes are included, but after 12 to 24 hours of this, the stem and the skin are being removed to form a pinkish color. So the temperature storage for this one is 45 to 55 Fahrenheit degrees, and it is best served chilled as well. And for rose wine, it is served to complement food such as full meat or the deer, venison, ika nga. So length of your wine is between 2 to 5 years only. And the type of glass being used is a narrow and elongated type of glass to keep champagne colder for longer time to help bubble decapitating. So that is for our red wine, white wine, and rose wine. So we have an activity. And for your activity one, it is equivalent to 30 points. Interview a local farmer entrepreneur who produced Bugnay wine. Identify the wine characteristic, process of making, fermentation, length of year, type of glass used for serving, and the best serve with to complement. So before I end this discussion, I will show you some pictures of red wine, white wine, and rose wine. So uh, let's proceed to our Google. So let's search here, red wine. So we have here an examples of red wine. So makikita natin sa picture yung characteristic niya. So rogue talaga yung color. And makikita nyo yung ginagamit na baso is malalim para nga mas better yung pag-sniff ng wine. So that is for our red wine. Now let's type white wine. White wine. For white wine naman, so makikita natin ang gamit na baso is much more narrower than the red wine. Kasi yung red wine malalim, ito medyo narrow siya. Kita nyo yung difference, di ba? So, ito din yung kulay ng ating white wine. Makikita nyo, pale. So, that is for our white wine. And the last one is our pink wine. So, yay! Ito ang ating pink wine. So, makikita nyo, same bottle siya na ginamit sa ating, same glass ang ginamit for serving white wine also. So, this is our pink wine. Yan. So, Uh, before proceeding or ending the discussion as well, I would like to show you a video on how to produce a wine. So wait lang. So here sa YouTube video natin, so meron tayong just type how wines are made and makikita nyo dito we have a lot of videos na kung saan ine-explain ang paggawa ng wine. So makikita nyo, sorry hindi ko siya mapindot kasi I'm afraid of copyright strike or warning. So makikita nyo, ito also, nakikita nyo, it's grapes as well. So white wine tong ginagawa nila, of course. Meron din dito. So puro grapes. And then meron din yung mano-mano, which is inaapakan. Harvesting. Meron din yung machine. So wine making process, makikita natin. So I would highly recommend you to watch and search some of the videos here in YouTube on how to make a wine para may idea din kayo kung paano nagagawa ang wine. Lalo na ang mga, ayan no, we have here, they specialize in red wine but also produce white and sparkling wine. So kung uh, questionable sa inyo kung paano ginagawa ang sparkling wine, I highly recommend you to watch some of the videos that I have shown you here sa ating presentation. So let's go back to our discussion. So we have here. So again, red wine, white wine, rose wine. So that's it. So again, we only have one activity for week 13. So just interview a local farmer entrepreneur. And then para mas okay din siguro kung ma-videohan niyo din sila para ah, mas ma-explain mabuti kung paano ginagawa. So thank you once again. Once again, this PowerPoint presentation was made by Sir Jemuel Antonio Garcia. So see you on week 14.